Here at The Other Way, we operate on a simple but strict philosophy. If you do not control yourself, something or someone else will. In public spaces, maintaining that control is rarely about looking for a fight. It is about actively managing the exact physical space between you and the unknown. Most people freeze when approached by a stranger because they don't know exactly when to shift from passive observation to active boundary management. They hesitate. They wait for an approaching person to explicitly prove they have bad intentions before taking any action. By waiting for absolute proof of a threat, you allow an unknown variable to cross your spatial thresholds entirely unchallenged. You trade away your physical distance out of a fear of looking rude to a stranger. Hoping an uncomfortable situation will simply go away if you ignore it guarantees the complete loss of your personal initiative. You hand your decision-making power over to whoever happens to be walking toward you. To stay in control of your environment, you have to treat physical distance as time. The closer an approaching person gets to you, the less time your brain has to process the incoming data and make a rational choice. Your body registers proximity long before your conscious mind figures out what is happening. When a stranger moves directly toward you, your nervous system begins tracking their trajectory and velocity immediately. This vector map illustrates exactly what happens to your cognitive capacity as distance collapses. Waiting until someone is within arm's reach is a total tactical failure. By the time a stranger hits the 5-foot mark, your heart rate spikes, dropping your prefrontal cortex's logical capacity by 50%. As the spatial radius breaches the center of your immediate perimeter, you suffer a total physiological hijack. Because your brain loses its ability to think clearly, you are forced into a freeze, into blind panic, or instant compliance to end the immediate stress. If you want to master the psychology of human behavior and stay in control of your own biology, hit the subscribe button below. Managing space provides the biological headroom required for logic. Keeping distance ensures your rational mind stays functioning when you need it most. To prevent physiological hijack, organize your awareness. This radar map outlines the 3-step spatial protocol, dividing your space into 3 zones. The outermost is your 21-foot scan, your observation threshold. At 21 feet, establish a baseline, calmly identifying an anomaly's trajectory, speed, and body language. Monitoring people at this distance isn't worrying, and it isn't paranoia. Knowing who is in your space simply allows you to remain calm and relaxed because you are immune to being caught by surprise. If an anomaly continues moving directly toward you and crosses the 10-foot line, you have reached your decision threshold. You must anchor yourself immediately. Step back to a flat surface to eliminate any threats from behind. At 10 feet, your physical mechanics matter. Adopt a stable stance, physically unclench your hands to release tension, and mentally prepare yourself to end the interaction. If you are out with your family, the steps remain identical, but your physical geometry shifts. You must position your anchor directly between the approaching anomaly and your loved ones, buying them time to move away. Executing this deliberate anchoring maneuver forces the approaching unknown variable to explicitly reveal their intentions without you ever having to throw a punch. If a stranger breaches that 10-foot anchor without permission, you will feel the internal alarm bells ringing. Your vision will begin to narrow and your body will start locking up as adrenaline floods your system. You cannot make accurate survival decisions if your body is drowning in panic. To manually override this stress response and keep your logic online in crowded spaces, go to theotherway.biz/3-minute clearing promo and get the 3-minute clearing reset tool. Getting your pulse back under control prepares you for the final threshold. If a person crosses the 5-foot line without a clear, safe reason, they have hit your absolute enforcement boundary. Looking at this close-up of a 5-foot breach, you can see the required physical response. You must execute a firm boundary by using a quiet, slow voice to state your refusal, while simultaneously stepping back or sideways to violently change the angle of the encounter. The rule inside the 5-foot zone is absolute. Do not negotiate. If mapping your personal environment with these exact spatial frameworks provides value to you, hit the like button on this video. Enforcing your 5-foot boundary ruthlessly and without apology definitively prevents a simple, weird social interaction from degrading into a dangerous physical crisis. The #1 reason people fail to use this protocol is the fear of looking socially awkward. They worry that stopping someone at 10 feet makes them look like the bad guy. Your personal safety must always overwrite societal expectations. You do not owe a stranger proximity just because they asked a question. Scammers, pickpockets, and violent predators all explicitly rely on your social hesitation. They use your desire to be polite as a tool to successfully close the distance before you can react. A firm refusal or a physical step to the side serves as the critical first act of self-defense, prioritizing your sovereignty over social scripts. Setting spatial boundaries stands as a definitive daily declaration of your personal sovereignty. True public safety has nothing to do with carrying weapons or studying martial arts. It relies on owning your pace, controlling your physical geometry, and keeping your distance until you explicitly choose otherwise. Spatial awareness demands a simple truth. If you do not actively control your own space, another entity will gladly control it for you. Drop a comment below and let us know what specific public situations make it the most difficult for you to hold your boundaries. Your boundaries decide your sovereignty. Keep your distance, keep your logic online, and remain in total control. We'll see you next time on The Other Way.